Hello everyone, my name is Celeste Banks. I'm an instructor from the Painter's Palette, New Jersey. We are located in Orange, New Jersey, and we are a painting studio that offers painting classes to adults and children. Today we are going to walk you through creating a painting using a kit that was given to you. And from those kits, we are going to make a snow scene. Very simple to do, and it has a person in the background looking at the beautiful snow falling. And so this picture is very simple, very easy for beginners. Painting on canvas boards are a great way to practice and to get used to painting. They're a lot of fun and they're small, so you can put them in a frame, you can hang them on your wall, you can hang multiple one side by side, and it's a very beautiful image. So let's get started. Okay, so let's get started. So what you have that came in your kit is a canvas board. You have a blank canvas board. And you have 5 colors of paint, which are all here, which I've just opened because I'm going to be using them. In order to do this painting, you're also going to need a few other materials. So you're going to need some paper towel, which I have here, which is all blotted up because I've been using it. And you're also going to need a cup with some water in it to clean your brushes. So I also have that readily available to use. Also, the last thing you're going to need is a plate. And from this plate, you use that to mix your colors. You can work straight from the little containers of paint, or you can pour them onto the plate to mix. I do a little bit of both when I'm painting. You also want to remember that with acrylic paint, it is not something that you want to get on your clothing. So make sure you don't have on something nice that you don't want to get damaged, because if it gets on there, it's not going to come off. And so acrylic paint is a water-based paint that we use water to dilute, unlike oil paint. And so it's a fairly easy medium to work with. So let's get started. Once again, we're gonna do this picture here. So first thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna use my paper towel to actually blot the canvas. So I'm gonna take some of this blue paint, I'm gonna pour it on to this plate, and I'm gonna take some white paint and I'm gonna pour it onto the plate. And I'm gonna take this paper towel and mix them. So yeah, you don't always need a brush. And I'm going to blot it. You don't have to do this really hard. You could use a brush to do this as well, but I just find that using paper towel on these little canvas boards is very easy, and the paint dries very fast. So this puts a nice thin, even layer on here. And your hands may get a little messy, but that's part of the fun of painting. Now, once I get down towards the bottom, as you can see, I'm going to leave it white. And then I'm going to take my brush, I'm going to take white paint, and I'm going to paint almost like a swirl on my canvas. So I'm making the ground. You can make this as even or as non-symmetrical as you want. It's really up to you. But I'm gonna make one area slightly higher than the other. And so once I do that, I'm gonna let that dry for a second. I want it to dry. I don't want the black paint to mix into my white because I'm gonna make the trees. So when I start working on my trees, I'm going to, I wanna make sure that the paint on the back is dry. So once again, it dries really fast. So within a few minutes, it will be dry. While that's happening, I can also work on my moon. So back here, I'm going to make a small circle that will represent the moon. So this is going to represent the moon. And also, you can take your brush and you can make clouds if you want. You can do that. You can also take the paper towel and take some of the white and kind of loosely add more white to it if you choose. I didn't like those hard lines. So that's looking good. So while that's drying now, I'm gonna clean off my brush. One thing you wanna remember when you're working with acrylic paint too is you always wanna keep your brushes wet when you're not using them because it will harden and then the brush will get all messed up. So make sure you do that as well. So while this is now at this state, I'm gonna take my black paint and I'm gonna make 2 trees or 3 trees on one side and 1 on the other, which is good balance. Sorry if you hear my daughter, she's here too with us today. So I'm gonna start about halfway and I'm gonna make a line. Remember, these lines don't have to be perfect. If the paint is too thick and it doesn't spread, you could just add some white to it. So, as I get to the bottom, I'm gonna make the trunk of the tree fatter. And I'm gonna make another tree like over here. Painting is very relaxing and therapeutic. I like to paint. It's a good de-stressor, especially with the holidays coming and you got so much stuff going on. It's a great way to de-stress. I'm not even worried about, if you notice up here where I just started painting, my brush had too much water on it and it started to like smear a little. That's fine. You want to make sure you blot your brush. You don't want too much water or else it will start to bleed out, but that's fine as well. I'm gonna make some tree branches now. So I'm going to continue with this. They can overlap the other tree too. You don't have to feel like they can't. They absolutely can. Gives you a more interesting image when you overlap your shapes. And I think I might even put a third tree back in here. I'm gonna make it really small though. I like that. It has like some asymmetrical balance going on. And then this is still slightly wet, but I'm gonna make my person. Now I'm painting upside down because of the way I'm recording. So hopefully you guys, when you see this, you'll see that it's right side up. So I'm gonna make a triangle first, like a triangle shape. And I'm gonna fray the bottom where her bottom of her skirt is. And then I'm going to make 2 little skinny lines to represent her legs. And I'm gonna make another triangle up here on top of it, but smaller, to represent her torso. And I'm gonna make just a blob like the shape of her head. Remember, she's far away, so it's not necessary for it to be neat and perfect. So she's standing there. And I'm going to fade this out with some white and some blue. My brush still has some black in it, which is good. It's kind of like a gray color. Sorry again if you hear my baby. She's participating too. So I'm just gonna fade this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some snow on the trees. So I'm just going to dab. So I'm putting just like spots where I think snow would fall on top of the tree. And I'm gonna add some highlights on this tree as well with the white paint. And there you have it. You can continue to add more and more details to this painting. This one I made the trees with leaves on it. You can do that too. You can just take white paint and dot if you want to put leaves. You can give the tree leaves if you want. That'll give the tree actual leaves. But you don't have to do that. It's winter. You can leave the trees bare if you want to. And so I think I want to put a red, maybe she'll have like a red belt. I like that. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this mini lesson. Once again, these are canvas boards that we painted on, and we used acrylic paint. There's quite a bit of paint in each one of your kits, so you can put this lid back on them and use this paint again. You can also use this paint on paper if you have paper at home. Your brush, as long as you wash it off when you're done, you will be able to reuse that as well. And I encourage you to go out and keep painting. Have a great time doing it. Enjoy your holiday season. Take care.